Hello, devoted dreamers and die-hard denizens of daytime drama. It's us, your unapologetic obsessives, at TV Days Drama Digest, whispering sweet nothings from the shadowed alleys of Salem and beyond. On this crisp November morning in 2025, yes, as the leaves swirl like forgotten love letters in the wind, we gather you here not for idle chit-chat, but for a seismic shakeup that's got our hearts pounding like a Kyriakis wedding gone explosively awry. Picture this, the hallowed halls of Horton Town Square, echoing with the ghosts of yesteryear's betrayals, where the air thickens with the scent of forbidden romance and familial feuds that span generations. Who will step into the storm-tossed shoes of Eric Brady, the tortured priest-turned-reprobate whose soul has been shredded by more scandals than a DiMera family reunion? And could it be, dare we dream it aloud, the brooding, emerald-eyed enigma himself, Jensen Ackles, storming back to reclaim his throne after a quarter-century exile? Oh, the drama, the delicious, gut-wrenching drama, as Days of Our Lives hurtles toward its glittering 60th anniversary bash, a milestone that's already teasing returns of legends like Eli and Lonnie Grant, and whispers of a hospital gala dripping in nostalgia. The void left by Greg Vaughan's Eric feels like a chasm in the fabric of Salem itself. Vaughan's portrayal, a masterclass in brooding redemption arcs, has anchored the Brady clan through tempests of infidelity, addiction, and unholy alliances. But with Eric jetting off to Paris at the tail end of 2024, nursing his wounds in a city of lights that mock his inner darkness, and Vaughan himself entangled in the siren call of a juicy new gig on CBS's Beyond the Gates, the speculation machine is revving hotter than a Phoenix summer. Brief cameos. Sure, we glimpsed him at Doug Williams' tear-soaked funeral, a spectral reminder of love lost, and insiders buzz about flashes during the anniversary extravaganza. Yet, as the credits roll on Vaughan's chapter, one name rises from the ashes like a phoenix with a vendetta: Jensen Ackles, the man who first breathed fire into Eric's veins from 1997 to 2000, turning a troubled teen into a soap icon whose every glance could ignite a ratings inferno. Buckle up, Salemites. In this epic dissection, longer and more labyrinthine than the DiMera tunnels themselves, we'll plunge into the abyss of Eric's fractured legacy, autopsy Vaughan's valiant run, exhume Ackles' electrifying origins, and fan the flames of what if, until you're left breathless, begging for spoilers that may never come. Will Ackles eclipse the eclipse? Or is this just another twist in Duel's endless tapestry of heartbreak? Pour your coffee black as Roman's vendettas, and let's dive in. Your thoughts. Flood our comments below, because in the world of Days, every fan's whisper can rewrite the script. The eternal torment of Eric Brady, a character forged in fire and recast in shadows. To grasp the gravity of this potential recast cataclysm, we must first rewind the reel to 1965. When Days of Our Lives, that indomitable beacon of Corday Productions, first flickered onto NBC screens like a candle in a crypt. Amid the Brady Bunch's wholesome veneer, Eric Roman Brady emerged not as a saintly son, but as a powder keg of paternal legacy and sibling rivalry. Born in 1984 in soap years, Anyway Sora's, that magical accelerant of adolescence, aged him up faster than a time jump curse. Eric was the firstborn twin of the iconic Sammy Brady, offspring of the unbreakable Marlena Evans, and the steadfast Roman Brady. From his cradle days, Eric embodied the Brady ethos, loyalty laced with lightning. But oh, how the fates, or perhaps headwriter Ron Carlivati's capricious, quill delighted in his undoing. Child actors cycled through like autumn leaves. Rory Borgard in 1984, Jesse Davis in 85, Edward Palma through 86, each a fleeting flicker before the role demanded deeper darkness. By the early 90s, as Eric morphed from Muppet to malcontent, the recasts piled up like unpaid demerit debts. Jensen Ackles' predecessor, a parade of young thespians grappling with storylines that veered from petty theft to priestly vows. Eric's arc, a symphony of self-sabotage. He clashed with Sammy over boys and betrayals, spiraled into alcohol-fueled rages that mirrored his father's cop code cracks, and in a twist that still sends shivers down our spines, donned the collar of a Catholic priest, only to shatter with forbidden passions. Remember the Who Framed Roger Rabbit-esque scandal of 2016, when Eric's drunken tryst with a disguised Nicole Walker led to accidental death, or his 2022 implosion, confessing to shooting a lover in a haze of heroin horror. Eric isn't just a character, he's a canvas for duel's darkest strokes, redemption chased by ruin, faith flickering against familial fury. Recasts have been Eric's cruel constant, a DOL hallmark that turns actors into vessels for viewer vitriol or adoration. Post-Ackles, Austin Peck stepped in from 2006 to 2008, infusing the role with a slicker edge. But it was Greg Vaughan who seized the scepter in 2012, transforming Eric from brooding brother to battered beau. Vaughan's Eric was no mere recast. He was a reinvention, a man whose collar chafed like chains, whose love for Nicole burned brighter than Salem's eternal flames. Yet, as 2024 dawned with Eric's Persian exile fleeing the wreckage of a botched baby swap, and a fractured Ericoli romance, whispers of permanence echoed louder than a Horton bell toll. Vaughan's 12-year reign, the longest in Eric's annals, ends not with a whimper, but a bang. His pivot to Beyond the Gates, where he'll trade priestly robes for primetime intrigue. In this vacuum, fans claw for continuity. Enter the ghost of eras past, Jensen Ackles, whose Eric wasn't just played, he was possessed. But more on that inferno later. For now, let's honor the fallen king. Greg Vaughan's Odyssey, from Salem's savior to Beyond the Gates enigma. Greg Vaughan, the chiseled chevalier whose jawline could cut glass, and whose eyes held the sorrow of 1,000 unrequited confessions. Arriving in Salem like a thunderclap in 2012, Vaughan didn't merely inherit Eric, he embodied him, layering the priest's piety with a palpable pulse of pain that had viewers clutching pearls and Kleenex alike. Fresh from stints on General Hospital as the brooding Lucky Spencer 2003 to 2009, Vaughan brought a veteran's gravitas to Duel, earning a 2017 Daytime Emmy nod for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Drama Series, a trophy that gleamed like Marlena's diamond under duress. Under Vaughan's helm, Eric's saga soared to operatic heights. Recall the 2015 implosion? Eric, fresh from prison for that fateful Nicole nightclub fiasco, grapples with temptation incarnate as Serena Mason slithers into his orbit, only for betrayal to bloom like black roses. Vaughan's portrayal, electric, his furrowed brow a map of moral mazes, his whispers to the crucifix laced with lightning. Then came the Ericoli Renaissance in 2018, Reuniting with Ariane Zucker's vixenish Nicole, their chemistry crackled like a live wire in a confessional. Who can forget the 2020 wedding vow exchange drenched in doubt, only for COVID-era chaos to scatter the petals? Vaughan's Eric weathered it all, the 2020 drug relapse that saw him wield a fatal gun, the 2023 baby debacle where Jude's true paternity unraveled like a pulled thread on Sammy's wedding gown. Yet, glory's gleam fades fast in soapdom. By late 2024, Eric's arc hit a hiatus, off to Paris with Sloane, a misguided match that fans decried as DOL's latest detour into despair, leaving Salem to simmer without its moral compass. Vaughan's returns were tantalizing teases, a gut punch at Doug's funeral, where his eulogy dripped with unspoken grief, evoking the Brady patriarch's legacy like a requiem for lost innocence. And as the 60th anniversary looms, a spectacle of returns headlined by Deidre Hall's Marlena, James Reynolds' Abe, and Eric Martsolf's Brady, all toasting on the Today Show stage amid gala glamour. Vaughan is tipped for a cameo that could shatter screens. Imagine it, Eric, windswept from Parisian boulevards, toasting the Brady's diamond decade, only to vanish into the ether once more. But why the farewell fanfare? Enter Beyond the Gates, CBS's audacious 2025 Sudser tale of gated community gothic where Vaughan's undisclosed role promises shadows deeper than Demera dungeons. Spotted on set in early November, Vaughan teased via Instagram. New horizons, old haunts, the gates swing both ways. Filming ramps up, with the premiere hinted for mid-2026. Pulling him from Duel's orbit like a gravitational heist. Fans mourn. X erupts with thank you Greg threads. One user lamenting, Vaughan's Eric was my confessional raw, real ruined. Who's left to absolve Salem now? Rumors swirl of a permanent exit, with spoilers suggesting Eric's Paris sabbatical stretches into obsolescence. Heartbreaking? Utterly. But in DOL's Darwinian drama, every goodbye birth a bolder hello. Whispers from the Seine, Eric's Persian purgatory, and the 60th anniversary tease. As 2024's final frames faded, Eric Brady didn't fade to black, he fled to Paris. That labyrinth of longing where cobblestone's cradle crushes, and the Eiffel Tower mocks the mighty fallen. Scripted as a sabbatical from his self-flagellating spiral post-Jude's DNA debacle, post-Sloane's serpentine schemes, this exile feels less like respite and more like exile eternal. Envision him, brooding over cafe au lait, color discarded like yesterday's vendetta, haunted by Nicole's nectar-sweet what-ifs. Vaughan's last lines. Murmur to a misty Marlena via video call. Mom, the city's lights blind me to my sins, but they don't erase them. Chills, right? A prelude to purgatory. Yet, dual delights in dragging the dead back dancing. Vaughan's brief returns that funeral flicker. Anniversary illusions hint at threads untugged. The 60th, exploding in November 2025, is a cornucopia of callbacks. 13 alums storming Salem for a hospital gala that promises plot-thickening pandemonium. Deidre Hall gushed to Today. Its family fractured, fierce, forever. Eric, poised for a poignant pop-in, perhaps clashing with Sammy over sibling sins or toasting Tom and Alice's ghosts. But if Vaughan's Beyond the Gates beckons brighter, that cameo could crown his canon a swan song sweeter than strychnine-laced champagne. Insiders murmur of recast inevitability. Eric's return sans Vaughan, a seismic shift to sustain the Brady bloodline's boil, and that's where our pulse races to redline. Because if not a fresh face, why not the face that launched 1,000 fanfics? Jensen Ackles, the original sin, the eternal flame. Jensen Ackles, the prodigy who ignited Eric's inferno and left Salem smoldering. Step back to 1997, when Days was a ratings colossus, and a 19-year-old Texan tornado named Jensen Ross Ackles crash-landed in Salem like a meteor with manners. Modeling since age for Think Gap ads with a grin that could disarm a Demera Ackles traded runways for recriminations, debuting July 28th as Eric, Sammy's sharp-tongued twin, Marlena's mirror of mischief, Roman's reluctant heir. Ex-fans still swoon over anniversary clips. Ackles' debut. Electric. Eric's smirk alone slayed. Ackles' Eric was youth weaponized a powder keg priest-in-waiting, clashing with Sammy Allison Sweeney in peak vixen mode over crushes like Austin Reed. His brooding intensity a balm to the show's soapy suds. Key beats. The 1998 car crash that scarred his soul, bonding him eternally with Nicole then Kylie Richards, later Zucker's realm. Ackles infused Eric with volcanic vulnerability. A holy man harboring hellfire, earning soap opera digest nods, and fan fervor that echoed through chatrooms like primordial screams. By 2000, as Ackles bowed out October 23rd last seen a lacerating goodbye to Marlena, tears tracing jawlines like rivulets of regret heat etched Eric indelibly. Fans poll eternally. Ackles or Vaughan? Ackles' heart heat wins every time. Post-Salem, Ackles ascended. Dark Angel's Super Soldier Ben, Smallville's Jason Teague, but Eternity as Supernatural's Dean Winchester 15 seasons of snark stakes, and brotherly bonds that mirrored Eric's fraternal fray. Now 47, he's a force, voicing Batman in animated epics, slaying as Soldier Boy in The Boys, and helming Countdown with dual alum Marybeth Evans Jack Devereaux's Kayla. Tracker Season 3 teases his Russell Shaw return October 19, 2025, a brotherly blood feud that screams Eric echoes, busy, undeniably. But soap summons stars like Sirens, witness Matthew Ashford's endless Jack revivals. Ackles has coyly courted comebacks. A 2025 parade chat hints at unfinished family business. Eyes twinkling like emeralds in Eden. X buzzes with montages. Grainy 90s clips of young Ackles as Eric, captioned "Come home, volcano, why now?" The 60th gravitational pull. Perhaps. Or D.O.'s desperate bid to recapture Ackles' alchemy, that raw, reckless romance that made Eric unforgettable. The recast reckoning, fan frenzy, fiery comparisons, and why Ackles could shatter the status quo. Speculation isn't speculation in Salem, it's scripture. As Vaughan's exit inks an indelible, X timelines throb with Ackles for Eric please. Jensen's Eric was chaos with charisma. Vaughan's was calm before the storm. Bring back the blaze, polls pit them. Ackles 1997 to 2000 fire youthful fury. Forbidden Flames versus Vaughan's 201 to 202 for Frost priestly poise. Paternal pangs. Ackles wins hearts for heat his Eric smoldered, seduced, sinned with a smirk that seduced Sammy's rivals and viewers alike. Vaughan, a virtuoso of vulnerability, his Emmy-caliber confessions cracking the collar's code, turning Eric's addictions into aching art. Yet, recast Raw riots. Duels history Romans Josh Taylor supplanting Chris Kosichik in 1983. Brady's Eric Martsolf eclipsing Kyle Loder in 2008 proves fans forgive, but forget. Never. Ackles' return. A ratings rapture. Imagine. Eric Ackles age to grizzled grace, alighting from Paris with vendettas anew, reuniting with Sweeney's Sammy for a twin tempest, clashing with Zucker's Nicole in an Eric holy eclipse that outshines their Vaughan zenith, or gasp a patriarchal pivot, Roman's right hand in a Brady resurgence against Demera Dominion. Dramatics demand details. Picture Ackles Eric, battle-scarred from boys-esque brawls, wielding whiskey wisdom instead of holy water. Storyline salvos. A 60th triggered time warp, flashing to 97 flings amid anniversary amnesia. Or a countdown crossover tease, Evans Kayla summoning Ackles for medical mayhem. Fans fantasize feverishly. One X-thread envisions Ackles Eric absolving Jude since fatherly fire meets fractured faith. Risks. Ackles a list aura could overshadow Salem's ensemble, but precedents Michelle Stafford's Y and our queen per promise. Vaughan himself stokes the spark. An October 2025 YouTube Confessional Muses, Eric's story. Eternal. Whoever wears the cross next, honor the haunt, Ackles, in tracker promo shadows, smirks. Family pulls you back chains or choices, coincidence, or carte clairvoyance. Hypotheticals in high gear, story arcs that could ignite if Ackles answers the call. Let's unleash the oracle. If Ackles dons the cassock anew, duel detonates. Arc 1. Parisian Phoenix Eric returns, Ackles intensity incarnate, to unearth Sloan skeletons, only for Nicole's nectar to nectarously negate his vows. Hugh confessional clashes. Forgive me, Father, for I have loved. Arc 2. Brady bloodbath allying with Martsolfs, Brady against Black family blackguards. Ackles Eric evolves from exile to enforcer. His sharpshooter stare schooling siblings in survival. Anniversary amplification. A gala gone ghoulish. Tom Hortons ghost CGI sorcery. Tasks Ackles Eric with exorcising Salem's sins, weaving 97 flashbacks into 2025 feuds. Fanfic fodder. Eric mentors a teen Jude, Ackles paternal patina piercing as Dean's dad duties in Supernatural, or boldest bet a meet a mashup, Ackles soldier boy swagger seduces a Demera dame, blending genres in gleeful grotesquerie. Drawbacks. Scheduling skirmishes Ackles The Boys Season 5 looms 2026, but soaps bend time like pretzels. Vaughan gracefully goes to gates, his Eric a legend lingering in lore. Epilogue. Salem's siren song, will you heed the call? As November 3, 2025, unfurls its foggy fanfare, Days of Our Lives teeters on transformation's teeter-totter. Greg Vaughan's Eric Valiant, vanquished vacates for beyond the gate's gilded grip, leaving a lacuna luminous with legacy. Jensen Ackles, the prodigal pulse, whose return could rekindle ratings revolutions, recast recriminations as raptures. We've dissected the drama, exhumed the eras, fanned the flames now. You, our verdant vanguard, Ackles or abstain. Eclipse Vaughan's echo, or etch a new etching. Drop your decrees below. Salem soulmates. Tweet Ackles for Eric, storm our forums, summon the scribes. In Duel's Diamond Jubilee, every echo amplifies. We hope you enjoyed it and look forward to sharing more with you in the future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe TV Days Drama Digest for more updates on Days of Our Lives.